Right on, now we're recording. So welcome to 12 Apostle Helicopters. My name's Andrew, I'll be taking you up. What are your guys' names?
I'm Ben.
Ben? Tom?
Natalie.
Natalie. Ben, someone's written a message for you on the beach that we'll see as we come down. Probably not for you, but someone's written hello Ben or something on the beach. So that is our internal camera, that's you guys on the screen. Good afternoon. We'll make our departure, yeah?
Cool.
So we're going to take off and head up to London Bridge first. We'll wind it up here and we'll get away. Now the blades are spinning fast enough.
Wow. How good is that?
There we go.
Beautiful.
Wild.
Look at that view now. How green it is.
Alright, so we'll make our way up to 500 feet and we'll be crossing the coast just here next to Horseshoe Cove, which is a little opening we can see just down to our right. It'll have a sandy beach at the back. One of the sites that's only accessible from the water side. And there's usually some penguins that huddle down there around about sunset or sunrise. The rock just down to the right is the tallest one along the coast here, standing around 75 metres above the water. It's called Sentinel Rock. You can see those coloured bands on it there. They actually match directly back to the coast. Sentinel Rock's a really good example of how these rocks, including the Apostles and the other features that we'll see at some stage in the last million years or so, they were part of this coast. And it's the erosion from the waves predominantly, but also the wind and rain that eats away at the coast and carves it out like this. As we cruise up, you can see the rooftops over here. This is the town of Port Campbell.
Oh yeah. That's where we've just been through now.
Oh yep.
Yeah.
It tends to be a pretty central spot for when most people come down here. It's sort of central to the Apostles and the Bay of Islands and all the other sort of features of the coast here. Quiet during the winter.
Yeah.
Very busy during the summer. We get a lot of weather like this throughout the summer months, so it tends to be pretty perfect being only a few hours from Melbourne. You can see the beautiful blue colour in the water. There's not been a lot of swell in the last few days as we see these sort of little darker sections are actually shallow parts of the reef that you can see through the water. If there's not much, if the swell doesn't increase overnight, the water will only get clearer. On the clearest days you can actually see right through the water to the base of the ocean right below us here.
Yep.
Obviously it's not that frequent. Right overhead is Point Hess. On the other side of that is going to be London Bridge. You can see on the next point back the little stone archway there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
We'll cruise right up by that on our way. So down in the water to our right you can see just how clear it's starting to get. The darker sections there being the reef, and the light sandy blue colours are the sandy bottom, I guess. As the coastline recedes, these reefs get left behind. They used to be part of the coast also. They help to protect the coast now, I guess, by breaking up the swell as they come in. The boulders in the bottom of the archway there, they're about the size of the cabin of this aircraft. And the archway itself is easily 15 or so metres high. Created solely from the erosion of the coast. It's a very unique, sort of twisted section of rock.
Beautiful.
Now as we round Point Hess, you'll see in the tip of it there's actually a set of stairs. These stairs were carved by fishermen back in the early 1900s. The sun's hitting them perfectly top to bottom there right now. We'll see them again on the return as well. They'll be right out your window. Now as we come around you'll see London Bridge. It's this section of rock remaining in the water. It has an archway below it that we'll see the water reflecting under as we come past and on the way back. It used to be connected to the mainland at that section closest to the beach. It was a narrow bridging section. We'll come back by there in a second. Right up ahead is Peterborough, and the rocks beyond it in the water, that's the Bay of Islands. So similar to the Apostles, much more spread out, quite a few more also. We're going to climb up here and have another look at London Bridge.
Oh, wow, it's wicked.
Pop it on the internal camera here while we go around. How you guys going, okay?
Brilliant.
Yeah, great.
Excited.
The sun will be more or less behind us now, so get some really nice colour in the water.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Amazing.
We bring it around. You can see way back down the coast is where we're going to be headed to now. That's the Apostle Rocks way down there.
Yep. Can you see them straight ahead now?
Yeah.
The water surrounding London Bridge is bright blue. There's a lot of sand below there. You'll see that water reflecting perfectly below the arch there now. So the other archway, like I said, the tip closest to the beach is where it was, and in 1990 as well, when that fell down. When it did fall, you used to actually walk out onto London Bridge, and when it fell, 2 people had just done that, and they spent 4.5 hours out there before they were rescued by helicopter.
Wow.
You can imagine it wouldn't have been the most exciting time having part of a rock. There's those stairs again.
Yeah.
So what is it? 1:10 past 1. That's the time to see them. Look at the lights splitting them right down the centre.
They're adorable.
There's a whole set of sections with stairs located on them along the coast here, most of which are closed because the coastline is sort of semi-unstable. That set at Point Hess actually haven't got their gate in them anymore, so if you're interested you can make your way out there. If you when you're heading out that way past the archway turn-off, you'll see the sign for the London Bridge turn-off. If you park right next to it, there's a little patch of dirt. You can walk up an old pathway that'll take you right out to the cliff edge, and you can take some photos on the steps there.
Okay.
The rest of the sets along the coast here are all gated up.
Yeah.
It was gated. I don't know who removed it, but it is open, so be careful. Now as we come back towards Port Campbell, we're looking straight into the port there. Sandy beach at the back. Yeah. Beautiful little spot. The jetty on the side is how that boat's about to get out of the water. They have a crane on there that pops the boats in and out of the water. It's been like that for a long time. That most recent update was in 2000, but even back in the mid-1900s and that, they were using the crane. Campbell Creek runs right up to the back of town there. It usually runs out into the ocean, but it's been a dry summer, so it's very, very dry, and the rivers and creeks are laying dormant. That motorhome on the cliff edge there, it's driving down what used to be the Great Ocean Road. Up until the mid-90s used to run right down the cliff edge around the point and into town. But those two sort of undercut sections close to the point there in the mid-90s made that section unstable.
Okay.
And they closed that and sort of dug up the tip section and tried to revegetate it. They do geological surveys along here from time to time, especially where it concerns the road or people. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the Apostles in the distance now, getting some beautiful light with that. The water's just perfectly blue, isn't it?
Yep.
Now the cars, you can see a couple of them on the Great Ocean Road. They give you a good idea of the scale of these cliffs. There's one back there. And you can see those coloured markings on Sentinel Rock there, just matching back to the cliff. Horseshoe Cove, that triangular cave at the back there is where the penguins hide out when they're home.
Okay.
You can also see them at the Apostles Beach, which again is not open to the public, and London Bridge Beach. I guess they pick the spots where people can't go. Now, did you come down the Great Ocean Road on the other side of Torquay and Lorne?
We came this way.
Oh, so you headed that way?
We're heading towards Lorne today, yeah.
You'll find the Great Ocean Road comes a lot closer to the cliffs and winds along the ocean a lot more on that side. We're very exposed down here. So whether they brought that in or thought that took it into account when they built this section of road, but you'll find here it's a lot more set back from the coast.
Yeah.
When you get over there, you'll be winding in and out of creek beds up around the cliffs. It's really nice. The Sherbrooke River across there, laying dormant again, waiting for rain. Normally it's flowing out into the sea there. On the tops of the cliffs there, you'll see the walking trails that you can access from the Lockhart Gorge area.
Oh, yeah.
Brings you out to Broken Head. You can walk right down to the river mouth, onto the rock platforms out the front of it there. Now the island there's got a very unique shape, shaped like a seahorse from up here.
Yeah.
It is.
That's Muttonbird Island, and it's where the famous Lockhart ran aground. It sank at the tip there, and the two survivors got washed into the beach at the back of what's now known as Lockhart Gorge.
Yep. Remember the beach, Tom?
Yeah.
We've got a few photos down there.
Tends to be a very popular spot. It's always protected from the waves and wind.
Yeah.
Calm waters. Now the Apostles, officially there's only 8 of them still standing. They start here at this point and they run through to the lookout. If you were counting the 8 standing, the big thick one there and the little short stack behind it in the cove, that's your first 2 in this direction.
Yeah.
These 2 here fell down a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
So number 3 is the tall pointed one here. We have another one that fell down a long time ago, that little brown base section there. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, the little short one, and then 8, the big one on this side of the lookout. On the other side is the 2 rocks called Gog and Magog. They're not technically part of the Apostles.
Okay.
Now the most recent one to fall is directly below the helicopter there.
Yeah.
That pile of rocks on the sand, that one fell down back in 2005.
Oh wow.
We're at 750 feet here now. We're going to pass this end of them and then we'll descend down to 500 feet and come back along the Apostles.
Okay.
Got a nice close-up view. This beach down here with Gog and Magog, you can get down onto it. You'll probably see people down there as we come down and around. Gibson steps come down below the car park there. Originally they were carved in also, but they've been since been rendered by cement so they can stick around. Right down ahead is Moonlight Head. We'll make that descending turn. Beyond Moonlight Head will be Cape Otway Lighthouse. So the ocean's just rolling in perfect lines at the moment. Probably the start of a new swell.
Gorgeous.
Oh, there it is. Hello, Ben.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Tide must be
wow.
coming in because it's washing away part of it. What are the coincidences that someone knew you were going to be up here? So here we are at 500 feet now, cruising the Apostles. On top of the cliff there you can see the lookout that wraps all the way around the cliff's edge.
Yep.
There's probably 200 metres or so of viewing platform there. You can see the one that fell down most recently is just a pile of rocks. It was quite a lot bigger than it is now, but since falling the ocean's made fast work of demolishing its softer layers. Not every layer of rock in these rock stacks is a very dense section of limestone, so when they do fall, they can be removed quite quickly. Tends to be mainly the base sections of these that are a very hard or dense section that erodes much more slowly than the rest of the coast, which is how they get left behind. The Apostle sections, I think it's very unique because of the way they're just lined up down a beach, all a similar sort of length away from the cliff. And now the 3 rocks up ahead here, we have the 2 sisters and the salt and pepper shakers behind them. The 2 sisters looked similar originally, but the one on the right, her head fell off just a few years ago. Which happens, you know, things change. You can see the archway down there. Used to have another archway on the front, which had a hole up in the top, and that was called Elephant Rock. On the tops of the cliffs you can see the viewing platforms that you can look across to the archways. There's an archway below the seahorse's nose there for that platform.
Yeah.
We round Broken Head here. See some people on the walking trail.
Oh yeah.
The rock over here with the hole in the bottom is called the baker's oven. They call it that because that's supposed to resemble some form of wood fire oven.
Okay.
Up ahead we're coming back towards Sentinel Rock. There's our little heliport across there. We'll be crossing the coast in a sec to make our way over there. Most recent rockfall, all the loose rock in behind the green topped boulder here, fell out of the cliffs back in November.
Okay.
Huge amount of rock you can see just down there.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the trip.
Fantastic.
We'll make our way back
thank
into
you.
the helipad here. You don't beat days like this, not a cloud in the sky. As you can imagine, the coast doesn't get shaped like this from weather like this, so
Yeah.
nice to enjoy it while we get it. We'll bring it back into the helipad here. I'll set it on the ground, flick it to the internal camera to say goodbye, and then Haruki's going to come and grab your doors.
Cool. How many helicopters are based here?
It's at our Port Campbell pad. There's just the 144, but up at the 12 Apostles pad we have 3 more of these and 2 Eurocopter 130s.
Yep.
So smooth.
Let's just hope Holly was quiet for them.
Perfect, guys. Thank you very much for flying with us. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, and you'll enjoy the rest of the day. Good weather. The Haruki will be in here in a second. You can release your seatbelts here and pop your headsets just on the hooks up here. Thank you.